Welcome to the Forgotten ECE, the show where before and after school educators, summer camp and PD staff and CYWs have a place where they are seen, heard, and valued. I'm your host, Jamie Wegler, and I am so excited you're here. Welcome back to the Forgotten ECE. I don't like that it's in front of my face, but it's fine. I'm going to try it videotaping. I hope you're excited to see me. This is the podcast where we shine a light on the incredible work, and by we, I mean I, where I shine a light on the incredible work of educators who are often too overlooked, you don't look there, undervalued, and of course forgotten. I'm your host, Jamie Wegler, and I'm so excited that you're here. And today, I am going to talk to you about an experience that genuinely reignited my passion for summer camp programming and reminded me why investing in educators is one of the most important things we do for children. We're talking about Camp North of Ordinary. And more specifically, we're talking about why experiences like Camp North of Ordinary matter. Why camp educators deserve quality training and why camp staff freaking need far more than a binder full of games and a whistle around their neck. So grab your coffee, head out for a walk, or settle in to your daily commute, and let's dive in. There's this misconception that drives me absolutely crazy. It's the belief that summer camp is somehow easier than working in a classroom. That camp is just fun. That anyone can do it. That camp staff simply show up, play games, hand out some popsicles, and go home. If you've ever worked in camp, you know that couldn't be further than the truth. Summer camp educators are managing large groups of children with varying ages, varying needs, varying interests, and varying levels of emotional regulation. Well, half the time, some of these wonderful camp educators have their own varying levels of emotional regulation because they're under the age of 25 and their brains aren't even fully developed. In the nicest way, okay? In the nicest way. Please don't come at me. Well, if you want to, email. They're helping children navigate friendships. They're supporting anxious children who are away from home. They're helping children build confidence. They're facilitating inclusion. They're handling conflict, and they are teaching life skills. They are creating opportunities for leadership. And often they're doing all of this outdoors in the heat with limited resources and very little recognition. The reality is that camp educators are doing incredibly important developmental work. The challenge is that many of them are expected to do it with minimal training. This is why I designed Camp North of Ordinary. And it just happened last weekend, which is why this episode is coming out late. And dare I say why I'm 4 weeks behind on episodes. I'm so sorry. But it was a really refreshing professional development experiences and one of the best that I've had in a long time. Because what stood out to me immediately was not just sitting in a room and listening to people. It was firsthand experiences, hands-on, and there was so many different aspects to take away from the day. It was immersive, it was reflective, it was practical, and it was intentional. Anyways, every session was designed around helping educators become stronger leaders and stronger facilitators for children. The focus wasn't simply on activities. It wasn't a giant Pinterest board of camp crafts. It was so much deeper than that. The focus was on creating meaningful experiences, from building community to supporting children's development to understanding ourselves as leaders and recognizing that the environments we create as educators have tremendous impact on the children we serve. I left feeling fulfilled and hoping that the educators who was part of the founding cohort left the same way, because validated school-age staff have full cups and will hopefully be able to last the whole summer with at least something left in their cup by the end. Okay, let's talk about why this training is so important. Because when budgets get tight, training is often the first thing that organizations cut. And guess what age group is the first to go? You guessed it, school age. And that's the mistake. Training doesn't just improve programs, it improves outcomes for children. When educators are trained, They become more confident. When they're more confident, they become more effective. And when they're more effective, guess what? Children have better experiences. And so do the educators. It is really that simple. Think about it. Imagine a child that arrives at camp feeling nervous. Maybe it's their first day. Maybe they don't know anyone. And maybe they're struggling with separation anxiety. An untrained staff member might simply tell them they'll be fine. A trained educator understands the importance of relationship building and how those first couple minutes are the most important. They know how to create belonging, they know how to scaffold social interactions, and they know how to allow that child to feel safe. That's the difference that training makes. So one of my biggest takeaways from Camp North of Ordinary was the importance of having a developed toolbox. Not a literal toolbox, kind of a little literal toolbox, but an educator toolbox. A collection of skills and strategies and approaches that help respond effectively to whatever the day throws at you. Because trust me, summer camp will throw things at you, sometimes literally. But let's talk about what should be inside your toolbox. First things first, relationship building. Relationships are everything, especially in early childhood education, and summer camp is a part of that early childhood education. Children don't remember every activity that you've given them. They remember how adults made them feel. The strongest camps are not built on programming. They are built on connections, listening to the children, hearing what they're interested in, genuinely being excited about what they are talking about. Because every educator should have strategies for learning names quickly, for creating community, for helping children feel like they belong. Those are the important parts of this camp, of all camps. Then behavior guidance skills should be tool number 2. Children are going to make mistakes. They're learning. Conflict is going to happen. It's inevitable. Big feelings will happen. And the goal isn't to eliminate these challenges. The goal is to respond effectively when challenges arise. Educators need practical behavior guidance strategies that focus on teaching rather than punishment, that focus on relationship rather than brushing the feelings under the rug. Children need coaches. They don't need referees. They need someone in their corner willing to listen. Someone saying, hey, I hear you and I still love you. And these feelings are okay, but I'm not going anywhere. And I'm here when you want to talk or just sit in silence. Next. Tool number 3, emotional regulation supports. The last few years have taught us that many children struggle with self-regulation. Camp educators need tools for co-regulation. Children in school age still need co-regulation. They need calming strategies. They need to borrow your calm. They need ways to support children through difficult moments because not every challenging behavior is defiance, and I would argue that many, if not 100%, are not defiant. Sometimes it's overwhelm. Sometimes it's anxiety. Sometimes it's children communicating the only way they know how. And what they need is educators who are calm, educators who understand that these are communications, and educators that are willing to do the work to get from point A to point B, to help the child calm their body and to be present in that moment at whatever capacity is needed. Because going in escalated is only going to make it worse. Tool 4, inclusive practices. Every child deserves to feel seen. Every child deserves to belong. We learn these foundations of how learning happens, and we get to school age and we just forget about them. Belonging, well-being, expression, and engagement. It needs to happen in camp. Camp educators need trainings that help them create environments where children of all abilities, of all backgrounds, of all identities and experiences can participate fully. Inclusion doesn't happen accidentally. It happens intentionally, and we need trained educators. Tool number 5. This one surprised me when I first started working with school age programs because leadership isn't just for supervisors. Every camp educator is a leader. That's right. Children are watching us. They're learning from us. They're observing how we handle conflict and challenges and how we treat each other. Observing how we respond to mistakes. They're observing if it's easy for us to ask for help or if we actually ask for help. They're observing us take a breath and be in our calm and how we get to our calm. And they're observing when we say things like, you know what, I'm feeling frustrated right now. I need 2 minutes. This is me breathing through it because I'm not in the right headspace. Leadership matters so profusely in these programs. Okay, here's something we don't talk about enough. The impact of the great camp experience that can last a lifetime. think back to your childhood. You probably remember a coach or a camp counselor or a teacher. Chances are you remember someone, not because they planned perfect activities, but because they helped you feel brave or included or capable or important. The ripple effect of camp is enormous. When we invest in our educators, we're investing in every child they encounter. And that, my friend, is powerful. So I think it's time that we stop treating summer camp as an afterthought. I think it's time we stop assuming enthusiasm is enough. And I think it's time we recognize camp educators as professionals who deserve training, mentorship, and ongoing learning opportunities. If we truly believe children and childhood matter, then we need to invest in people creating those childhood experiences. Programs like Camp North and Ordinary are helping to make this happen. We're raising the bar. We're challenging educators to think differently. And we're helping create stronger experiences for children. That is something worth celebrating. So as I reflect on my experience of bringing Camp North of Ordinary to life and get excited about next year, you do not want to miss it. One message continues to stick with me. Children and educators deserve extraordinary summers. But extraordinary summers do not happen by accident. They happen when passionate educators are equipped with the knowledge, confidence, skills, and support they need to succeed. The games matter, the crafts matter, the field trips matter. But what matters most is the educators standing beside the children, the educators sitting on the floor and playing the games, the educators who create belonging, the educators who inspire confidence, the educator who helps children discover and believe in who they are. That's the real magic of camp. And that's why investing in camp educators is one of the best investments we can make. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of the Forgotten ECE Podcast. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a fellow educator, a supervisor, a camp leader, or anyone who works with children during the summer months. And until next time, please keep advocating, keep learning, and keep reminding yourself and the world that school-age education matters. Ta-ta for now. Thank you, amazing listeners, for your support. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at MissJamie_RECE. Give a star rating and leave a review. Have something you want to hear about in relation to before and after school programs or full day summer camp? DM me or comment. Again, thank you so much and happy learning.